Hi guys, what right-wing media do on occasion is to take a tragedy or a serious incident and try to weaponize it. In this case, it was right-wing radio host Julia Hartley-Brewer. She took examples of police failings, be it to find lost people or to deal with serious offenders within their own ranks. However, when plans are put in place to deal with such serious police misconduct, for example, she would be the first to say that it's a waste of money or that it's woke, a term that has been used so much that it no longer matches its original definition. Here she was engaging in some pointless whataboutism. Have a listen.
Quick word on that story I just mentioned about the car crash wreckage in South Wales. 3 young people are dead and 2 people are seriously injured after a car crash in South Wales. We don't know the exact circumstances of that crash, but we do know that it took the police 46 hours to find that car. That car was not found in the end by the police. It was found by members of the public looking for the young people who had gone missing after a night out on Saturday night in Cardiff and elsewhere. Parents, terrified and worried for their children, rang the police and were told repeatedly, "No, can you stop ringing?" Because they weren't concerned, even though they knew that something had gone horribly wrong when their youngsters were not in touch. How did it take 2 days to find a crashed car, clearly visible to people who were then later searching for it?
Wait a minute. If people were clearly searching for it, then it wasn't clearly visible. But look, let's focus on the main point here. Why did the police struggle to find this car? That should be the question. Now, it's probable that it's because they don't have the resources necessary. Why don't they have the resources necessary? Well, probably because of police cuts. So cuts to public services. And Julia Hartley-Brewer is a supporter of the Conservative Party. So if she's a Tory and she supports cuts to public services, then you don't get to turn around and complain that the police don't have the resources necessary to find a car, for example, or to find people who have gone missing. If the police don't have the resources, then they're going to not have the resources necessary to find missing people or a car following an accident.
How did it take the police so long to identify Wayne Couzens as a potential threat to women? Yesterday we had an apology from the Metropolitan Police, another one after he was sentenced for 3 counts of indecent exposure. They didn't bother to investigate. How could they not find a rapist whose nickname in the nick was the Rapist?
Within the police service, there are horrible individuals. And in order to root out these horrible individuals, you need, once again, resources. You need training. And when, for example, the police service want to deal with individuals like this and prevent them from joining the ranks of the police force, those hiring the police need to be trained to spot particular behaviours or to spot, to look through the backgrounds of these individuals. Now that takes time, it takes resources, and it takes money. But once again, we get to the point where you don't want to invest in the police service. But also when it comes to training, for example, to avoid hiring people like this, people like Julia Hartley-Brewer will say, well, this is woke. It's a waste of money. Why are you investing in this diversity training or trying to avoid hiring racists or bigots or whatever? You should be spending that money on catching criminals or something like that. So as soon as the police use whatever limited resources they have to train the police officers or to train those hiring police officers, people like her will complain.
How could they not find the missing couple with the baby that's now sadly died? How could they not find Nicola Bulley's body in the river quite near to where she had last been spotted? There are questions that need to be asked about what the police are actually doing.
Yes, there are questions to be asked. Do they have the right training? Do they have the right resources? What is the chain of command? There are many things that need to be reformed within the police service. I completely agree with that. But you don't turn around after and then complain about money being spent fixing these problems. You don't get to do that.
With their time. Too busy? using face paints to put rainbow colours on their cheeks at the latest Pride parade.
And here we have the weaponization. Oh, look, the police aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing because I've supported policies that don't allow them to do that. And now I'm going to attack police officers wearing face paint on one day of the year during a Pride parade. And I've always asked this question: what would people like Julia Hartley-Brewer prefer the police to be doing during a Pride parade? Would they prefer that the police would be cracking people's heads open with batons? Would they prefer they would be tossing tear gas at people who are just walking on the street? Is that what you would prefer? Really?
Too busy arresting people who've misgendered someone on Twitter?
I don't even know how to respond to that. It's a ridiculous argument.
Too busy fining people during lockdown for sitting on benches in the open air?
We're talking about something that happened 2 years ago. So she's complaining about actions taken by the police 2 years ago. No one has been fined for breaking lockdown rules in 2 years. And of course, she's not somebody who cares about Boris Johnson breaking lockdown rules, but we'll park that for a bit.
Busy only recently arranging meetings with mothers of boys who've dropped Korans in the school and giving them a record with a non-crime hate incident. Maybe the police...
Once again, this comes to diversity training or other types of training. So the police can identify, is this a hate incident or is it just an accident? But if police don't have the proper training, then they're not able to deal with these incidents correctly. Once again, you don't want them trained, because as soon as they're trained, you're complaining about it being woke or being a waste of money.
Should, I don't know, this is a crazy idea, start doing their actual job of helping people, protecting people, fighting crime and arresting criminals instead of...
Then you don't get to complain, once again, that when they are trying to do that in the right way, this costs money. This requires resources. This requires training. It's all about weaponizing the issues, trying to turn people against each other. And unfortunately, succeeds. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.